If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description.
The wait hasn't ended after 6 years. This Friday, Ab-Soul is dropping HERBERT, his new album. We're gonna go over everything that we know about this. So let's jump straight into this. Ab-Soul's last record, Do What Thou Will, dropped in 2016 and likely cemented him as a really solid, competitor in hip-hop, and was also one of the core pieces of the, at that point, very strong TDE roster. But ever since then, really, stuff has been very quiet. Not just for Ab-Soul, but for TDE as well. But things are getting, heated back up. We got an Isaiah Rashad record last year. We got a Kendrick and a SZA album this year, and now Ab-Soul is also, completing that whole list. Reason also dropped last year, so that's also one that I should mention. But this thing has been in the making for quite some time. We started getting singles for this, so first kind of pieces of evidence that this thing was coming in April of this year. And I was surprised when I was looking back at it. I was like, did it really start in April? Because that seems so long ago, but it did. Because in April we got Hollandaise. Now I'm probably pronouncing that really weird in French, but that track was actually pretty good. It wasn't mind-blowing. I gotta say, the singles that he dropped after this, we got 4 singles in total. They were way better, but that was the first single. That came in April, and I think at some point then later on that summer, it might have been September, we got Moonshooter, which was a track that I liked very much better than I did Hollandaise, but we didn't really know if an album was coming. We just kind of got these singles. Y'all told me about them on Discord, which, by the way, if you're not a part of the Discord, make sure to join that Discord down below. Best hip-hop community on the fucking planet. Moonshooter dropped, and it was still very unknown whether something was coming. That then kind of changed the end of October, because at the end of October he dropped Do Better. Now Do Better is also just another random single, just like Hollandaise or Moonshooter were, but it got a video to it, and having a video to a record, the video was also pretty dope. It kind of means that you're very serious about it, so you gotta go check out the video. It's really dope. It's in black and white and very cinematic. You gotta go check it out. Also, the theme of the whole song I think is very dope, and we kind of okay, he's on to something. This is not just random singles. There's something that is coming out of this. So in the meantime, we got the announcement for the album in more details, but I just want to complete the list of singles just so we got that all covered up and we can look at the more interesting stuff. We got Gangnam with Fresh that he dropped only 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, which was also a pretty good track. So the last 2 singles, Do Better and Gangnam, were definitely the 2 that I like most out of the 4. Moonshooter was also pretty good. Hollandaise, I'm not so, fond of, but it's still a dope track. It's like Ab-Soul. You're gonna get some very clever punchlines. You're gonna get some lyrical miracle on there, but still in not a corny way, in a very cool way. So we got that out of the way. Now let's look at what he actually did say with the announcement. Because then we got the announcement that this thing was actually an album that is, coming out, and we got this through a trailer, and with it he tweeted, well, the trailer released on YouTube, but with it he also tweeted, my therapist told me I might really be the Messiah. I honestly couldn't tell you if she was being sarcastic or not. HERBERT, December 16th, 2022. Now, the name HERBERT of this new album is referring to his actual first legal name. It is HERBERT, which I knew before they call him Herb, but it was just funny that he's naming this this album after his real name, which is kind of a theme that a lot of rappers do, but I like that he's doing it now too. It's kind of a personal approach to it. So we got that, and we knew that this thing was going to be called HERBERT. The trailer was looking pretty cool too. It was kind of this female voice reading this poem or this rap verse that he wrote, and he's just kind of articulating to it. I thought that looked pretty cool, but we didn't know any more info on it. We had the release date. We knew it was coming December 16th, so only a week after SZA's album SOS that I reacted to live on Twitch, which, by the way, we're gonna be reacting or live listening to this album HERBERT by Ab-Soul this Friday on Twitch. So if you're not a part of the Twitch family yet, be sure to follow me on Twitch and be there on Friday. More details coming soon in the community tab on my YouTube channel. If you don't want to miss that, make sure you're subscribed. But it was a week after SZA dropped, and then he also gave us a couple more details right before SZA dropped, the day before, and he gave us the cover and the track list on
Twitter. And we got to look at the cover first, and then we're going to go over the track list. So the cover is actually pretty simple and something that a lot of artists do nowadays, which is just to put a baby photo of themselves, put like a filter on it to make it look retro. Maybe it did look like this. I don't want to, get too close on him, but it looks cool. It's really nothing special. It kind of has a more personal touch to it. Also considering that the whole album is called Herbert and this is like his baby picture, maybe that's a reason. I like it. It's nothing special. A bunch of artists do this nowadays. I thought that he would maybe come through with something more like abstract, but maybe then this is kind of the contrast to this. It's more like it's like a very simple. And as I said, he also gave us a track list, which is what I'm going to look at now, because this is obviously the interesting part. So we can see this thing will have 18 tracks, which is all right. I like that. It's not like over 20, which is kind of what SZA did, and that was a bit too long, even though for her, measurements, that was actually pretty good. And his is 18. It was 6 years, so it's like, we can expect some new material. And it's actually looking pretty good, also from the features. So let's go through this. Message in a Bottle as the opening track featuring Lance Skywalker. Now, I like that Lance Skywalker is already on the opening track. If you don't know Lance Skywalker, he was someone that Kendrick discovered at some point a couple of years back. Then was also got a feature on like from Schoolboy Q and stuff like that. So that dude is actually that's pretty cool. Then we have a track called No Report Card, and this is where it gets interesting because I didn't include this in the singles, but he did just perform this live for the Vivo live originals, whatever. So we actually do have a snippet of that song that if you want to go check it out, definitely go check out that Vivo performance. Then we have the track called On Days, as I already talked about. Then Moon Shooter, but this time with Joey Badass. So apparently there is a feature added to the single that we already got that we didn't have before. Then FOMF. Now let me know what this... I'm really bad with these abbreviations. Is that Fear of My Life? Like, what does that mean? Well, anyway, then we got Good Man featuring Punch, so keeping it family with the TDE shit. Then Do Better with Zachary. Now, this is actually pretty cool as well, as he wasn't credited on the single or in the video, so now we got a Zachary feature on here. Then Gangnam featuring Fresh, that I already talked about. Then The Wild Side featuring Janae Aiko, which is really cool, having a Janae feature on here, which I don't know how well they're gonna go together, but maybe it'll be dope. Then we have Art of Seduction featuring Ombre. Then Bucket, then Go Off featuring two somewhat mainstream artists, Russ and Big Sean. I saw Russ was already very hyped about being on here. Big Sean, I hope he can deliver something on here. Haven't heard a lot from him in the recent past, but I'm always got good hopes in him. Then Fallacy featuring Alameda. Then the title track, Herbert. Then Church on the Move. Then It Be Like That with Sir and Positive Vibes Only and Gotta Rap. So this is the track list. Now I do gotta say, the track list was actually already teased in the trailer, at the end of the trailer, but this is the official one that we then got. Well, this is like the official info that we got from him, but now to go over some more like extra stuff that he's appeared on in the meantime ever since announcing this. For example, he was on the Joe Budden podcast, and he talked about, obviously, this album. I'm not on Joe Budden's Patreon, so I didn't see the whole thing, but he did talk about like how this time, I don't know if he was joking, but he was like, I'm done with all the, it's not about the numbers, it's only about the art, and he says now he wants to look like these new rappers. I'm guessing it was funny, it was meant funny, but I just thought that whole thing was funny, so I had to point it out there. Also, he did a freestyle on Power 106, where again, this dude can freestyle and still come up with the craziest bars. So shout out to Absol, man, because that was insane. Well, that's kind of all we know about this. I'm very excited. As I said, make sure you're subscribed so you get the post about me live listening to this on Twitch. Join the live listening party on Friday. Also, let me know which track you're most excited for. Have you been waiting for 6 years? How do you think he's going to come back? And how does that kind of, affect the dynamic in TDE? So all your thoughts on this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.